If you're an Airbnb host that likes AI, you're going to love this video. I've discovered a way that you can increase your revenue using AI to help you run your pricing strategy, requiring zero software to get this done. Please open your computer. Let me show you how to pull this off. It'll be quick, it will be easy, but of course, naturally, if you stick around till the end of this video, we will get into advanced topics more than just the easy bite. Have fun with this video. First, let's go to your transaction history. You can find that in your account settings. Go to payouts, there will be payments, and then you're going to go to transaction history, past payouts, and then you can download a file. That was from memory. If I got it right, please hit the like button. Download this CSV file in all of its glory and upload it to ChatGPT or the AI of your choice. We're going to ask it some questions, and yes, I will give you screenshots of my prompts. You could just follow me to get this done. We want a few things from ChatGPT to start to really learn how we can increase our revenue. This actually is really exciting stuff, by the way. This is really kind of exciting stuff. The first thing we can ask ChatGPT to give us is the basics. What's my final trailing occupancy for date range or for all of last year? What was my ADR for all of last year? But it gets so much better. We can get so much cooler data than this, right? So let's jump into it. Let's ask, what is my ADR by the weekday? It will tell you what your Fridays are booking for, Saturdays, Wednesdays. Earmark this data because that's valid data that we can use in the future, by the way. So let's set that to the side, what your ADR per day is. But now let's ask it some really advanced questions to really understand our market. Are you ready? Ask it, what are my most common check-in days? Please give me a percentage representation for each day. It will likely tell you that your Fridays are 20 or 25% check-ins, or your Thursdays are 20% check-ins, and your Tuesday, Wednesdays will be less. If you really work to get bookings, you'll have some good check-in percentages on your Tuesdays and Wednesdays and stuff. But if you only get booked on the weekends, you're going to see that Fridays are like 50% of your reservations or something like that. So the next question, ask it now, what percentage occupancy do I have per weekday? I want to know how often my Wednesdays are booked versus how often they're not. Please give me this number for every day of the week. It will now tell you what your final occupancy per day is. You might find that your Fridays and Saturdays are like pretty much 100% booked, right? But you'll find that your Tuesdays, Wednesdays, something like that, are probably not. Now we're going to start to bundle this data together and really use it in a fun way. Yes, I will teach you how to use this data, but we're trying to get our menu of cool data in front of us. The next question is, what is my ADR per day, occupancy adjusted, considering the fact that some of these days aren't booked? It's now going to give you a net ADR for your Tuesdays and Wednesdays that is lower than that original number. So now we know what your ADR average is per day. We know how often you get booked. We also know what days people like to check in on, and we know what your final number is at the end of the year, considering some of these days don't get booked. Here's the first truth that you might be looking at. Your Tuesdays or Wednesdays, your ADR is really low, isn't it? Your rates might be $300 a night, but your final ADR for Tuesdays on average is like $80 or $150. That means that if you changed your prices on Tuesdays to $160 and you got booked every Tuesday because it was only $160, you would have made more money this year at $160 on a Tuesday. How scary is that? This is one of the biggest problems in our industry. Hosts do not like to compromise their rates on principle, even on weekdays. And without a better plan, which we're going to give you in this video, those days could continue to go empty and your average ADR would be really low. The reason why we wanted to find out what days people like to check in on is because it affects our entire occupancy strategy. Your calendar is like a game of Tetris. As the blocks fall and fill up spaces, we're trying to get our other blocks to land next to those blocks and create perfect rows. We don't want any gaps. We win the game by not having any gaps. And the check-in days that are most common are like the most common blocks that will fall in your Tetris game. One of the coolest things that we can do with our calendar, if we can succeed to do this, is to try to get those other unpopular days booked first. That's a toughie, but sometimes you can pull this off. Here's a fun fact. If Thursday is your most common check-in day, do you know what the hardest day on your calendar to get booked is? It's Wednesday, because it is exactly 7 days away from your best check-in day. But you will notice that you have favorite check-in days in the calendar. Think of it like a circle. And then you'll notice that you have low occupancy days on the other side of that calendar, where the check-in days that are popular, they don't reach these other lower popularity days. And because of this, this is why some of your days go empty so often, is because they are so far away from the popular days where people check in. This is like my heptagram strategy video that I did a year or two ago. And I will link that at the bottom of this video if you really want to visualize day popularity into your game theory here. It is a big topic. If you're keeping up with this data and AI conversation, then you also know that Airbnb's changed their algorithm again. And every year, our listings and our strategy has to change for the algorithm. And that's why on December 10th, we are hosting our 4th annual Re-Algorithm webinar. It is the most powerful education on the Airbnb algorithm in the world, and it only gets better every year. And you may have seen right here just weeks ago, I got a listing on Airbnb to have over 72% click-through conversion percentage, which is over double of top 1% on Airbnb. And what I achieved in that video, beating guest favorites properties with an average listing, I will show you exactly how to do that in Re-Algorithm. I can guarantee you results from Re-Algorithm this year. And the webinar is only $80 to attend. If you get even one more booking this year for one day, it pays for the webinar by itself. I encourage you to invest in your business, attend Re-Algorithm, and it will change your life. The link is down below. It's in the corners. It's in your face. Click the link. I will see you there in Re-Algorithm. Let's get back to the video. But to save you from the really nerdy stuff and to just give you a solution, you can use a rule set to get more bookings on these weekdays. Once you've identified if this is a problem for you, if your strategy is having a hard time getting these weekdays booked, you can go to Airbnb and make length of stay discounts that only affect certain days of the week. It's not a global setting that you want to add because if you gave a 3-day discount always, that does apply to Friday, Saturday. We don't want to do that. You can make a rule set that gives a 4-day discount, say 25% off 4 days, for example. And you can put that rule set only on Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday. That means for Sunday and Monday to become cheaper, someone would need to add 2 more days. This saves you from just having to drop your rates blindly, hoping that it works out. You can now make your rates cheaper on the condition that you get a length of stay that you like. But what this does is it makes longer stays more attractive. If somebody books Friday, Saturday, and adds more days, they get to have a better total rate. I call this a reverse weekend bundle by adding discounts to my weekdays. This does only apply to Airbnb, so I'm going to give you some other strategies for the rest of this too, by the way. You can use rule sets on Airbnb. If you're on booking.com/Priceline, they do have different types of discounts that allow you to structure per the day, but VRBO doesn't have this. C'est la vie. And to summarize the data that we're looking at, the biggest opportunities for this new set of data is to realize what days you're being too sticky on rates, and it's actually hurting you at the end of the year. And also what days are most at risk once your weekends start to book, if weekends are your popular day. I have a term that I made popular years ago called Adjacency. You will now see this in your wheelhouse or your PriceLabs settings. They have a setting for this, which is when a reservation lands on your calendar, you can automatically drop the rates before and after that reservation. But looking at this data, thanks to ChatGPT, we can realize something. You don't want this always to happen. You don't necessarily want to drop the rates after a reservation. Like let's say a reservation checks out on Thursday. You may get a lot of Thursday check-ins. There's no reason to activate an adjacency, is there? Because that day's not at risk. We no longer have to think of this as just simply weekends or weekdays. We can think of this as check-in days and the length of stay that tends to follow. You can even ask your AI right now, how long of a stay do I tend to have when somebody checks in on Thursday or checks in on Friday? What are my length of stay changes considering day of check-in? There's so much data here, my friends. A concept that we've learned by now that we will take later into the video with us is a truth, which is that your weekdays are only worth as much as the weekends that they are associated with. You're going to find with this reservation data and the Tetris game that we're playing that as soon as both weekends are booked, the weekdays in the middle are in a really, really rough spot. So what you can do is make a couple of proactive decisions. You can use this reverse weekend bundle type of logic every single week into the future, regardless of supply and demand, except for your very most peak weekdays, like in peak season. And we're also going to talk about your peak season here soon, so don't worry. But every single weekday that's not peak season, you can put a reverse weekend bundle rule set to increase your length of stay and increase your booking percentages for those weekdays proactively. But as soon as you get a booking 2 months in advance, even 3 months in advance, and you identify that there's some weekdays right before that reservation, and you know that those weekdays are really hard for you because ChatGPT just told you, you can get proactive with your prices on those days. And to be really clear, if you're looking at these percentages and it says that you only get booked 20% of the time on Tuesdays or 30% of the time on Wednesdays, you are in a highly risky position by having a Thursday check-in. As soon as Thursday or Friday is booked after Wednesday, and you only get 30% of your Wednesdays booked, you might as well cut the price in half. just completely in half. You're going to be in a better position at the end of the year, getting way more bookings at that price than whatever else is going on. And if that starts to work at half off, like really, really well, cut it to 35% off instead of 50% off. But I would rather you start to raise your rates on success, knowing what you can get booked for and build a floor, than to have completely empty dates and have no data at the end of the year. What we have right now is data on how frequently you miss. And the first thing we do to raise our rates is to increase our hit rate. And now with hit rate considered and ADR, you can play the balancing act. You might get 10% occupancy at 400, but 50% occupancy at 300, which is way, way, way more money. And this is really powerful stuff. But let's say that you're a new host and you don't have all this back data. We have future data that you can tap into by using PriceLabs. And you can use PriceLabs for free to get this data. What you can do is use the link down below, sign up for PriceLabs. You don't have to pay them. There's going to be a green button to turn on that says sync your listing. Just don't touch that. Don't make it green. That's how you pay them. You still get access to all this data. My tech stack for pricing strategy is Airbnb and the data that you just saw. Guesty GPO, because they're also my channel manager and they have a pricing engine. And then PriceLabs, but I use them for free. That's my whole spread. What we use in PriceLabs, even for free, is pretty cool. If you go to neighborhood data, you're going to see two really powerful charts. It's going to be the button to the right of the calendar. You're going to see these wavy lines on the first chart. This is your competitor benchmarking what everybody else is charging, and these are percentile ranges. The very, very top white area is top 10%. Then you're going to have salmon, pink, and gray, and then the white under the gray is the bottom 25%. You then also have a black line. Those are your prices. If you want to see your past data, if you have it, there's going to be to the right a drop-down menu. You click My Last Year Booking Data. It's going to give you blue dashed lines. I just did a video on these blue dashed lines. If your blue dashed lines are in the gray or below, very commonly, I'm going to leave a link at the end of the video so you can fix one of your biggest pricing issues, immediate change of prices, by watching that video to fix your PriceLab settings. But then also, moving on, we have a chart below this chart. That's the occupancy chart. And this is powerful stuff because this will allow you to choose which weekdays we want to wheel and deal on and where we want to be sticky on prices. If you went to the top right drop-down menu, there's going to be two settings for occupancy as well. And turn both of those settings on so you can get last year's data and something called pickup rate. And so now the power of this occupancy chart is not just your data, it's market data. So the last year's occupancy data is market-wide. You can see the future in a really cool way. Right now is November, soon to be December, but I can look at March or April or May and see that wavy line for last year. I can see what the final occupancy is for these days. But then, because things do change, they do give us a little extra data. It will show us that today, if we were looking at March last year, that occupancy was 10%. But this year, for those same days, occupancy is already 12%. That's faster than last year. So if the final occupancy is 80%, but it was 10% today, that means that if it's 12% today, maybe occupancy will be better than 80% final. That's why they give us this data, is so we can try to make a better guess of what the final occupancy might be. Because at the end of the day, price is just a game of hot-cold. Are we too hot? Are we too cold? Are we just right? We're trying our best here. Now, here's where stuff gets really cool for any host who's paying attention. They're going to realize something by looking at this chart. They're going to realize that PriceLabs has been wrong a lot. And they can see that where PriceLabs has been wrong directly lines up with this occupancy chart. PriceLabs has an equilibrium, a perfect number. At a certain occupancy in the market, everybody's going to be groovy and correct. Okay? But we don't know what that is at face value. Me and my students, we take a long time to try to get to that equilibrium point. But one of the biggest truths that I can tell you is whenever these weekdays drop in price, PriceLabs will be wrong about your price. And the reason why is too many people use PriceLabs. And PriceLabs is loyal to everybody. And so when occupancy drops, PriceLabs comes down with everybody. Now 70% of the market is lower, but there's only going to be 30% occupancy. But 70% of the market uses PriceLabs. 40% of that 70% isn't going to eat. They're not going to get a booking, which means we have to go a little bit lower to beat whoever else is on PriceLabs. And that's why PriceLabs is wrong whenever there's a big dip or whenever there's a huge amount of occupancy. PriceLabs isn't perfect at the top either, which means we can make more money than PriceLabs thinks we can make, but in very rare key situations. And I'm going to show you that here too. Hope you're excited. I'm going to show you a lot, okay? So use the occupancy chart to make a determination if PriceLabs is wrong, where we want to drop our rates, where occupancy is just a little bit lower than we're comfortable with for the future. And if you don't want to just drop your prices, you can use a rule set on Airbnb and make those prices based on length of stay. It's a really cool play. You can also use rule sets for other things, including peak season. I've got a whole laundry list of rule sets that I've developed to handle peak season pricing, winter coupons, the reverse weekend bundle that I told you, how I handle adjacency, different buildings and everything. Really good, powerful stuff. And if a lot of your bookings come from Airbnb, then learning a rule set strategy would be advantageous for you. Next, the final bit of data that I want to give you before I let you go, and I need to let you go with a big AI related warning too, so that way you don't hurt yourself after this video is done. Go to the calendar on PriceLabs. You're going to see that there are 4 different colors: dark blue, dark green, and light green. The blues are good, the greens are less so. Bad occupancy. They're based on demand. If you go to the future, let's say March, April, May, you'll notice that there will be some dark blues if your peak season starts in March, April, or May. Some of you might need to go to July or January, but you'll see these dark blues. And what's not obvious and powerful though, even more than just the dark blue squares, you can see how many of them there are in a row. You might find 5, 6, 7, or 8 dark blue squares in a run. That means something is happening here. And we want to lengthen our minimum length of stay to make sure that we get the best bookings in this blue spell, okay? So if you have a 2-day or 3-day minimum, increase it to 5. And the reason why, if we go back to one of the truths from earlier in this video, your weekdays are only worth as much as the weekends that they are associated with. And if you see a Wednesday or a Thursday that's dark blue before Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can take it to the bank that they are only dark blue because of the Friday, Saturday. Something is such high demand that the people are booking with a couple days before. It could be some huge event, it could be big. If you get a Friday, Saturday booking and take away those 2 days, the dark blue Wednesday and Thursday will become normal days again. You will lose that advantage. And here's a limitation for PriceLabs. They don't have this game theory approach. They don't update like this once you get a booking. They don't really consider that. So the moment that Friday is booked, if PriceLabs was doing the right thing, they would tell you Thursday's compromised and you should be more normal on your rates, but it will never do that. This is where we have to come in and manage the systems. We have to run a strategy on top of the software. The software can do half of our things, at best, most likely. And managing the Tetris game as the blocks fall is our job. And this is one of those things that is absolutely your job, and you can't automate this away, at least not yet. And my one big warning for you, since you're here at the end, everybody else who clicked away early is going to be really upset. AI has a huge limitation, and I tested the edges. How far could I push AI to help me run my pricing? What could I get it to do? What advice would it give me? And it messed up so bad. If you copied me, for example, let me tell you what I did that broke ChatGPT. I asked it to give me my ADR by lead time. What this means, if you put in this prompt, it will tell you that if you get booked 30 days out to 60 days out in that window, your average daily rate is 200. But if you get booked within 5 days, your average daily rate inside of 5 days is 140. It'll give you those ADR ranges. This is something that I call zones. Really powerful stuff. And I wanted to see if it could coach on zones, and it cannot. I said, what do my prices need to be so that way I get less of my bookings inside of 3 days? I want to get more bookings in zone 4 or zone 5, like the ranges that it gave me. It said, well, you just increase your prices. The price that I had for 30 days out, it wanted to raise my 30 days out price 30%. It wanted to raise my 60-day price out like 15, 20%. It wanted me to triple my last minute prices. And obviously, you can't just double your prices and get more bookings, right? So ChatGPT just had it not figured out. And I had to argue with it for a while. And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. Don't chop your hands off. Sorry I said that. It's a ChatGPT problem. So you can ask it to chew on your data, but do not consult with it on matters of strategy because it will confidently give you some really bad advice. Be careful for now. If your blue bars are below the gray area like I talked about, watch this video next. But if your prices are popping and banging and you're looking for more magic, watch this series on going viral on Airbnb because the future of your listing isn't just changing your prices, but like really hacking people's brains to get them to click on your listing. And this series is how to improve your listing so that way people just have to click on it. And increasing your total view conversion, increasing the number of leads you get means you can keep your rates higher, get more bookings before you drop your prices. So this series is chef's kiss. You're going to love it. Thanks for watching this till the end. And as always, I'll see you on the other side.